Hello everyone, welcome back to JK and JM Buzz. When Jimin mocked Jungkook's feelings for Taeyong on live air, no one expected what came next. Jungkook's raw eruption silenced the room. The world would soon watch, shocked, breathless. A glass shattered against the wall before anyone could stop him. His voice cracked like thunder, unfiltered, unapologetic. "Say it again," Jungkook snapped. "I dare you." Jimin's smirk faltered. Silence fell like a guillotine inside the green room. The cameras had stopped rolling barely 2 minutes earlier, but the tension on set was sharper than anything a script could have written. Makeup artists froze. A hairdryer clicked off in the corner. Somewhere down the hallway, a coffee cup slipped from someone's hand and shattered on the floor, its dull crash echoing the atmosphere inside. Taeyong stood near the door in his stage outfit, unmoving. His breath caught. His hands, always so elegant, were clenched into nervous fists. This wasn't just another joke. This was personal. It had started seconds earlier with a laugh that was too loud, too pointed. Jimin, still flushed from the adrenaline of performing, leaned back on the couch and chuckled. "Come on, Jungkook. Everyone knows you act like Taeyong's your boyfriend. It's honestly hilarious." Maybe he meant it as a tease. But the bite in his tone, the way a few staff members laughed along, turned the air acidic. Jungkook didn't laugh. He hadn't laughed all week. Because this week, Taeyong had pulled away, not physically, but emotionally, in the way Jungkook feared most. Quiet glances had replaced long talks. Late-night calls were gone. No shared playlists. No soft backstage touches. Just a growing distance Jungkook didn't know how to cross anymore. And now Jimin had casually weaponized everything Jungkook had spent years hiding. The love he never spoke of. The loyalty no one saw. The longing that bled into every note he sang whenever Taeyong stood beside him. Something inside Jungkook snapped. The glass he threw wasn't aimed at anyone, but it exploded against the wall like a scream. "I'm not joking with you, Jimin," Jungkook hissed, stepping forward. "You think it's funny that I spent years protecting this team, this bond, only for you to turn it into a joke." Jimin stiffened. "Cook, no. Don't." Jungkook cut him off, shaking with fury. "You don't get to speak about things you don't understand. Things you've never risked anything for." The weight of his words didn't come from volume. It came from pain. A low tremor vibrated in his throat. His chest rose and felt like he'd just finished a concert. But this wasn't adrenaline. It was rage and grief, buried beneath rehearsals, laughter, and carefully constructed masks. "I know what love is," Jungkook continued, softer now, eyes locked on Jimin. "It's staying when it's easier to leave. It's watching someone fall apart and still holding them without asking why. It's keeping secrets that don't belong to you." His voice broke. "And it's not for you to laugh at. Not ever." Taeyong was still frozen at the doorway, but his lips parted. A single breath escaped, one that sounded like Jungkook's name without saying it. Jimin opened his mouth to respond, but no words came. The room had gone completely silent. A junior stylist began to cry. Because this moment was no longer private. Someone had left a live mic on. The audio spilled into the hallway. Someone outside recorded it. Within an hour, the clip would be uploaded. Before sunrise, it would cross oceans. Jungkook didn't care anymore. His voice broke again, this time not in anger but in grief. "All I ever did was love him," he said quietly. "That's my crime, huh? That's your punchline." Taeyong finally moved. He stepped forward as the room held its breath and placed a hand on Jungkook's shoulder, their first touch in days. The simplest gesture, one that rewrote the atmosphere instantly. "You didn't deserve that," Taeyong whispered. "None of it." The storm in Jungkook's eyes softened. Less thunder, more rain. "I know," he murmured. Jimin sank back into his seat, shame creeping into his gaze. Not because Jungkook yelled, but because every word had been true. When the clip surfaced later that night, it hit 10 million views in 5 hours. Not because it was scandal, but because it was real. Jungkook, vulnerable and furious, defending an invisible bond with fire in his voice and shattered glass on the floor. People didn't just hear him. They felt him. It stirred wounds people carried quietly, unspoken love, betrayal by friends, the humiliation of being laughed at for feeling too much. It wasn't just a confrontation. It was a reckoning. And in the days that followed, the world didn't talk about Jimin's joke. They talked about Jungkook's truth.